And hello, everybody, and welcome back to another amazing interview as part of our Women Making Herstory series. And I am your host, Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network. And today I get to introduce you to a woman I've known for many years. And she is making herstory. Oh, let's see. She's not only making herstory by her amazing ability to really connect with people and care about them. She's actually doing this by showing us how to create better connections through social media. So I'm so excited. Cheri Martin, thanks for being with us.
Oh, Nancy, my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me here to share. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, you're making herstory. That's what this is all about. You know?
I love that term. I've been hashtagging it, herstory. I love it.
and you know, it's interesting because I think that part of the whole message behind this movement is we're all making herstory in our own way. We're all visionaries in big ways, small ways. It doesn't matter, just the impact that we make in other people's lives. That's herstory.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
And you do that well. So let me share with our viewers a little bit about you and your background, and then we'll chat a little bit more.
All right.
Cheri Martin is known as the social visionary for her approach and ability in the art of social networking. She is a social media specialist and co-founder of WCN Interactive with more than 20 years of online marketing experience. She's been doing this since it started. Her skill in mastering the different social media sites, her passion for networking, plus her joy of teaching led her to begin helping entrepreneurs and small business professionals develop their social media marketing strategy for greater results. She is a best-selling author, recipient of the Golden Mouse Award for 2016, and Social Media Marketing Leader of the Year. She's a certified constant contact email marketer, certified trainer, coach, and speaker. Cheri's always excited to share her expertise through training, consulting, and speaking so that you can increase your visibility, build your credibility, and boost your profitability. I love that little trifecta.
I love it too, because that's what it's all about. When we're out there putting ourselves in, out on social media or anywhere, we want to make sure that it is getting us our desired results.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about 20 years in online marketing. That was before Facebook. I don't even know if maybe MySpace was out then, but you have seen this landscape of social media just take over the world.
Oh gosh, yes. It's always evolving. It's always evolving. In fact, when my husband and we started the company together back in 1998, and we actually started as a communications company focusing not just on the web. That kind of came in after the fact. We were focusing on selling cell phones and internet service. And then that's when the aha came to us that, what's this web thing all about? Let's go check this out. Neither one of us we're not web designers, but we actually just got smart and started focusing on collaborating with others that were also trying to tap into this market. And so we outsourced web design, and that's what built our web agency. And we were very successful by expanding that. And we also had an IT company because our clients also needed someone to take care of their computers. And that was a little bit of my background, not as an engineer, but I knew I had been involved in the computer industry in another career, another lifetime, and knew how that was expanding, how businesses really needed to tap into that. So that's kind of how we got started in the online marketing arena. And of course, yes, there was LinkedIn first, blogs, MySpace. Then as Facebook was growing and excelling, kind of coming out of evolving, I should say, of just the college crowd and getting out there as a networking site, I tapped into it. And I actually tapped into it because my nieces said, Aunt Cheri, why are you not on Facebook? This is where we post all our pictures. And that was exactly why I got on it. And oh my Lord, the light bulb went off when I was on it. I thought, when I looked at LinkedIn and Facebook, I thought, this is like networking on steroids. There is opportunity here.
Yes. Yeah. And, as I'm listening to you share your progression and your evolution into all of this, what I keep hearing as a recurrent theme is, number one, you're always been ahead of the curve on what's coming, the challenges that people might be experiencing, and creating an opportunity to help them.
You know, that is so true. And I didn't realize that until I started really just, you know, I've been writing my story, doing some journaling on how I have evolved over the years, because I'm doing some transitioning this year in my business. And I'm pretty much transitioning, doing the business pretty much myself. My husband has transitioned into another area. So I love the networking and the developing relationships. So as I started looking over the years of my involvement, I saw just how much of a thought leader I am. And it was really a feel-good moment when I thought about that, because there were really when I started teaching social media, there was really no one in the area. They didn't even know what Facebook was. So that's how I started actually training people on how to get their sites set up and everything. But I realized that I had been a networker I was a director for Business Network International for a number of years, and started, our organization, different chapters here in our area. So that's what I really realized is it's just that networking. It's just another great way to shorten that, I guess, the space between who we could meet. It used to be that 6 degree of separation, and now it's 3 degree. And I saw that as, again, the possibilities of how we're connecting, and then the opportunities that all of that connecting opens up to us. And so I was so excited to just start sharing that message. And again, realizing, even when we had our web design agency, we were, again, forward thinkers, because we were tapping into a lot of doctors' offices. This was before the HIPAA compliances were coming out, and we said, you really need to look at other ways of allowing your patients to sign all those forms. Don't have them sign them out when they're in the office. Let's get them online. Yeah. So we were always going that way. We used to put webcams in doggy daycare centers, and then we tapped into some daycare centers. And they didn't want to have anything to do with it. But boy, we had fun putting them in those doggy daycare centers. So and we set up one of the very first online obituaries for a local funeral home here too.
Wow.
So a lot of coding. We ended up really developing a great team and doing a lot of coding and such. But we had fun. We always had fun doing this, because it's a fun place to be.
Yeah. Well, and I think the reason you find it fun is you see the inherent value is about creating connection with people.
It really is. And that's why I realize that that's what is missing so many times when I'm working with clients. They're posting, they're putting their information out there, but they're not really focusing on what they know what their end result, what they want, but they're not focusing on what that process should be. They just want to sell their services. So I've managed to really put a system together, which I call Make a Friend, Grow Your Business. And it's about really connecting intentionally and taking the time to develop the relationships. I mean, a relationship is basically, just the state of how you're connected. So let's take that to that next level with what I call relationship marketing. It's an ongoing process, and we really need to concentrate not on us, but on what value we can give to those that we're connecting with, and make it all about them.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And what's interesting is one of the common complaints that I hear from people is, and I'm just going to spew them. So one is, Facebook doesn't work. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. Blah, 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 blah. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overloaded. They're like swirling in a sea of confusion on how to really make this work. Because it does work, but what I'm hearing from you is maybe the approach and the strategy isn't as effective as you thought it might have been.
That, again, is so true, Nancy. It's really shifting your own mindset on how you're approaching your connecting. And the first thing I'll let them know is that these social networks are not sales tools. They're communication tools. So we need to up our game when it comes to communication.
So hold the phone or the computer, whatever it is. that is the key to turning everything around. So say
Yes. It is. And then once you're starting to communicate, and again, connecting intentionally. And what I mean by that, when you're connecting intentionally, is just don't, if you get a friend request, or if you're going out and putting a friend request, don't just connect. I mean, click that button. Make sure you're starting a conversation, because that's where that networking process comes in. Whether it's just putting something on their timeline or private messaging them, but then start really nurturing that connection and asking questions. It's no different than going to a face-to-face networking event. You start asking them questions and get them talking about themselves.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting, as we talk about growing and scaling businesses, I know I often look for tools and ways to automate. So there can be a delicate balance of using technology to automate that might move us away from connecting. So do you have any suggestions on ways we can keep that touch while we're automating?
Yeah, because I automate a lot of things. And what it is you want to save your time. You want to make sure that you are automating you're building out a system where you have your theme, your content calendar, and you're putting your postings out there and you're scheduling them. But what you want to do is then make sure that you have time blocked out on your calendar, that you're in your sites consistently, or on your dashboard, wherever you are focusing on, watching the news feed, etc. But you want to make sure that you then set a time to go take an initiative to go into some groups and start communicating with people. Don't just go into, have that conversation with them. I cannot tell you how many times I actually set up what I call virtual coffees with people that I'm meeting online. And I've had a lot of great, things happen in my life just because of connections I've made via social media.
I got to say, we know each other because of social media.
That is so true. The connection that we both knew, she connected with you on Facebook. And that's how our Women's Prosperity Network started in our Melbourne, Florida area. She was a client of mine. And it all started from that one connection on Facebook. And gosh, I think our chapter now is the longest running chapter, or
I think
outside of South Florida.
Yes, you know what? You're the longest running chapter outside of South Florida. Thank you.
And we've grown, and we go in spurts like all chapters do, but we have an amazing group of ladies here that I just love.
Yes, and we love you. We love you. All right, so speaking about the love, let's talk about a woman in history who made an impact on you.
Well, when you put that question out to me, I was really thinking, wow, there's so many in my life. And I'm just going to start by, first of all, saying that I am very blessed because I grew up in a household of women. I have 5 sisters. Wow. And to this day, we support and inspire each other. We're actually getting ready to do our annual sister getaway in a few weeks. And we invited our sister-in-law, so there's going to be 7 of us Swanson gals together. But we were blessed because also we had a mother who was a very amazing leader, both in the home and in the community. So that's, when I think of that, that was my base that I started. But when I look at who really has impacted me on the path or the journey that I'm on right now, there are 2 people. And it's very similar because my first person that I thought of was my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. McCurdy. And she actually happened to be my neighbor as well. So she knew the kind, how I was from a large family. But she really made me feel so special. She instilled in me that confidence that I needed to own my uniqueness, because it's very easy to get lost in a large family.
Right. Yes. And girls, the mother.
Yes, we have 3 boys and 6 girls, right?
You have 3 boys too?
Yeah, we have 3 boys.
Wow.
And there's 6 girls, so I'm the 3rd of 9. But she really helped me again realize how special I am, and that it was okay to stand out, that I didn't always have to hide. And so she brought out of me at that time, I loved to read and I loved to write. I used to write all the time, poems, and I at that time it was not a journal, it was a diary. And she really encouraged me and inspired me to pursue that. Beautiful. So that was the first person I thought of when I thought of where I am in my journey today, by owning my uniqueness. Mm-hmm. The other person that has really impacted me is the amazing Mari Smith. She too, yeah, I mean, she is the Facebook marketing expert and to me, a social media thought leader. She was a forefront leader in this whole arena. And she too has instilled in me to really own my uniqueness, to be authentic, because she is so authentic. And I had the pleasure of going out to San Diego back in 2010. Actually, the same time I met you, I think we were speaking on the phone as I was traveling out there to get to know you. And I went through a social media immersion back in 2010, and then I continued for a number of years being in her inner circle. And I think of her as a great and very inspirational mentor. I mean, to this day, she's still my mentor. And she has really helped me to develop, I want to say, I really believe, my authentic self on social media. Awesome. Because she is authentic. Yes. So those, I mean, I have a lot of great inspirational leaders in my life, and I thank every one of them.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, I thank you for making time to be with us today. And really, one of the things I love that you just shared, and it translates into social media, is being our authentic selves. So I just want to say to the viewers out there, as you've been watching all these interviews, the common theme is the heart and the passion of every woman that we've had on here, but they're all different flavors, different national, we're meant to be different and unique. So shine, my friends, shine, and let it show on social media, right?
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. And I know you also put something together as a gift for our viewers in becoming more social on social media. Do you know what that is?
Yes, it's actually a social media roadmap. And I call it, what we all need to do is stop doing social media and start being more social, or a social business. And this is a roadmap. It's I call it my 3 Ps roadmap to social business success. And it actually will guide you in through developing a simple to follow social media strategy. Also help you to eliminate what I call overwhelm, because that's what I see happening so often, and gain that confidence that you need to become more eager, and also to step in and step out so that you stand out on social media.
So good. So good. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for making herstory. I so appreciate you, my friend.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you, Nancy, and all of the support that you, your sister Trish and Susan, the whole WPN community gives to me. Thank you.
Well, it's our pleasure and our purpose. It's nice when they go together. All right. So all of our viewers, thank you for tuning in for this episode of Women Making Herstory. We've got a couple more coming your way, so be sure to check your inbox, because it's loaded with gifts from all of our visionary speakers. Click on the button below and go ahead and grab Cheri's gift. Thank you. Get out there. Be social. Remember, it's social networking. So let's get social. I love it. Thank you, Cheri. I appreciate you greatly.
Thank you again, Nancy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.